What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, the Franchise Guy, coming at you again with our third video of the day, guys. I know I've already uploaded some of these today. Earlier, well, those are all the ones I worked on Thursday, which I was going to be uploading every Sunday until the draft. Well, as you guys know, the Eagles, the team we're going to be drafting for, of course, because they're my favorite team, my hometown team. Well, they opted to trade back from 6 to 12, so the Dolphins can go from 3 to 12 back to 6. Yeah, so the Eagles kind of are giving up on a number one wide receiver in Jamar Chase. They're also could possibly trade themselves out of the Kyle Pitts lottery. But 2021 7-round drafts, pre-drafts, normal speed, realistic. For how they're going to draft. Trading will be strict, and we're going to start the draft right here. We are going with just the modern draft. Lawrence goes first, then by Wilson, Justin Fields, even though probably Trey Lance is better. Let's take a look. It was Kyle Pitts there, Trey Lance, Caleb Farley, Micah Parsons. And, well, we are in a weird situation now. Let's kind of break down what's going on here. Lawrence makes sense. Wilson makes sense. That, no one's going to debate those two going 1 and 2. Justin Fields to San Francisco, bit weird. I think skill set wise, I think Trey Lance fits Shanahan's scheme a little better. But that's how that goes. Sewell going at 4 makes sense. Falcons can use an offensive tackle. They could always use a quarterback, so depending on how they want to go. If they want to hold out till next season to go quarterback, it's a bunch of quarterbacks going out next year. So maybe they're waiting one more year with Matt Ryan. So they're going to build a offensive line for the next regime, the next quarterback that comes in. Fine, that one makes sense right there. Slater going at 5 to the Bengals, that makes a lot of sense too, because the Bengals need an offensive line. They don't have one. They're more or less playing without an offensive line. It's kind of why Joe Burrow got hurt. And this right here, this will make a lot of Eagles fans unhappy if this is what happens at 6. Jamar Chase going at 6. That is probably the worst case scenario, because the Eagles had Jamar Chase and they said, nah, we don't want that. We don't want that at all. Devontae Smith going at 7 to Detroit. Makes a lot of sense. Detroit's going to be really bad this season. Devontae Smith, Jared Goff, maybe they could do something there. Or they just kind of belly out and they get a top 5 pick next year. Go with one of the top QBs like Sam Howell. And, well, they already have the number 1 receiver for him. Kyle Pitts right here to Carolina. I think they might need quarterback a little more than Kyle Pitts. I mean, unless they're set to roll with Bridgewater for one more year. Trey Lance at 9 for John Elway. That's a good take right there. They don't have a quarterback. That's what you like saying right there. Caleb Farley at 10 over Patrick Surtain. I mean, position of need for the Cowboys, but I think Surtain would definitely go before Caleb Farley. Micah Parsons to the Giants. The Giants that just signed a linebacker. So I guess they're just building forward right there. They're building their defense up. So that's not a bad pick right there. They could have also gone corner, like in Surtain, or even D-line. But at 12, Eagles options, Mac Jones. Running back, they're not going to go running back. Receiver, Jalen Waddle. But the problem with Jalen Waddle is what he does well is what they want Jalen Reagor to do. So to draft Jalen Waddle at 12, you're more or less giving up on your first round pick from last year. At that point, what was the point of drafting him? I mean, we're too far out of it for JOK. Not too far for Zaven Collins. Cornerbacks, Surtain and J.C. Horn would be good gets right here. But, I mean, the problem with corners and first-round corners is there's about a 2-year learning gap between corners. Corners come in, they need to get adjusted to the league, and then they become the best corners in the league. they don't come out of college being the best corners. There's a huge learning gap between college and NFL. There's a huge learning gap right there. And safety-wise, they're not going to go safety in first round. But, I mean, if Surtan's still available and he out of the board, it's between Patrick Surtain and Jalen Waddle. I think Surtain would be the best option right there. Surtain at 12. It's good value. It's a position of need. And, yeah, it kind of hurts them later in the draft. But I think that maybe, just maybe, we could find some more receiving talent later in the draft. Amon-Ra St. Brown, it's, in the third round is a good selection there. At 37 right here, I mean, Christian Barmore right here, that's a classic Howard Roseman draft pick right there at 22. Big defensive tackle out of Alabama. But take a look at who's gone after us, who went after the Eagles in the first round. Quiddy Pay to Chargers. Put him on the opposite side of Bosa. Makes sense. Offensive tackle. Okay. Jalen Waddle. That's just, it's going all in. Going all in on the offense. They brought in Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Nelson Aguilar. That just adds to that offensive juggernaut that, Belichick has brought in. J.C. Horn. That's Cardinals were going to get J.C. Horn, or they're going to get Patrick Surtain. Harris still available. Best corner they're going with. JOK to the Raiders. Raiders known for that defense. They're going to go defense. Gregory Rousseau, best edge rusher available. I could see that going to Miami. Help that pass rush. Offensive tackle, Tevin Jenkins. I don't think they would go offensive tackle, frankly, personally, but it could be in a stretch, maybe. I think the fact that Slater had gone kind of throws this for a loop that they're going with Jenkins here. Mac Jones at 20. I don't see the Bears drafting Mac Jones at 20. I mean, sure, the Bears could use a quarterback because they're in that weird spot where they have Andy Dalton starting, but I don't think this would be the year they would draft a quarterback, especially since they just signed Andy Dalton to a one-year deal. Rashad Bateman giving Carson Wentz some more weapons right there. Kadarius Toney, a very good blocking wide receiver. Someone who could have gone very well in the Eagles' current scheme, helped Jalen Reagor out. Interior offensive lineman for the Jets. Jets, just building up an offensive line, getting a pass protector for Trevor Lawrence. Zaven Collins. They lost Bud Dupree. They're bringing in a linebacker. That makes sense. Jaguars at 25, going Cosme. No, I'm sorry. The Jets are building up an offensive line for the other guy, Zach Wilson. While Cosme is building up the line for Trevor Lawrence. Aziz right here. Okay, putting opposite side of Myles Garrett. I don't think that's probably the best bet for them. Probably need more help on offense, I'd say. I guess it could go either way. You could go offense or you can go defense if you're the Browns. Jalen Phillips, edge out of Miami. Okay. It's an okay move right there. Greg Newsome II to the Saints. Saints, I don't really think... I think they need quarterback here. I mean, quarterback available. I guess Trask is the best available at that point. So I guess they're not probably going to go... They're not going to take Kyle Trask out at 28. I think, if anything, if Saints are sitting here, they trade back. But then again, they do just sign Taysom Hill to a 4-year deal, so maybe they don't even want to think quarterback at all. Maybe corner is the right bet for them. Jalen Mayfield, offensive tackle, bad pick right there. They need receivers. They could have used a Rondale Moore. I understand he's super short, but no, I'm thinking of Rondale or Elijah. Which one's the super short one? One of them is like 5'7", but you definitely need to go receiver here if you're Green Bay. Rondale Moore, you're helping out Josh Allen. Terrence Marshall Jr. helping out, your star quarterback. Travis Etienne, running back. I mean, they just brought back Leonard Fournette. I don't know about the other running back situation, but I don't know if running back's the best bet for the Buccaneers right here. Elijah Moore going to the Jaguars. You're getting a top receiver for your quarterback. Nick Bolton to the Falcons. All right. Jason Owe had a killer pro day, so I can understand him going even late first round, but 34, it's good value for the Jets. Najee Harris, running back for Dolphins. Okay, it's fine. Not my pick, but definitely a pick that can help that team for the future. But now we're sitting here at 37 for the Eagles. I think value-wise, Christian Barmore is the best bet to go right here. Eagles are known for that, just that defensive line. And I think that's probably what you want to go with. I mean, Jabril Cox, Asante Samuel Jr. Unfortunately, the thing with Asante Samuel Jr. is he is a slot corner, and the Eagles only have slot corners currently. So that's why going after someone like Surtain in the first round is the best idea, opposed to waiting to the second round to draft a corner in Asante Samuel Jr. Sure, the whole, his father, Eagle legend, but height, speed, size between Asante Samuel Sr. and Asante Samuel Jr. is much different. Amon-Ra St. Brown did already go, unfortunately, before we got to pick 70. So Baron Browning. All right. We're looking at wide receiver right now. You have Tylan Wallace, Tutu Atwell. We have Brown, Dwayne Eskridge, Mari Rogers, Seth Williams, Nico Collins. I do like this set of 3 receivers right here. Probably a good 4th round pick right here would be this set of 3. Offensive tackle, interior offensive lineman. Nothing I'd really take this, but we just went D-line. Edgewise, probably no one I'd take currently right here. Linebacker, Chaz Surratt at 76. I mean, you're a bit of an overdraft. So you also have Pete Warner in this range right here. Corner, Sean Wade, if you want to double up on corners. I think if you want to go with Surtain in the first round, you don't want to go Sean Wade in the 3rd round. I think that's just kind of clogging the system up a little too much, since you still do have Darius Slay for a couple years. I think linebacker, I think going probably Chaz Surratt right here out of North Carolina would be a good idea. So you've gotten your corner, you've gotten a D lineman, and you've gotten a linebacker. A position of need, 2 positions of need, and a position that you don't really know what the new defensive coordinator system is going to be. Is it going to be very rotation heavy? Is it going to be very, Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave are going to get like 90% of snaps, and then Hassan Ridgeway kind of rotates in. But I think if you bring in Barmore in the 2nd round, especially if he is ranked 22 in value, I think that is a huge get right there, and it could help with that depth right there. But at 85, I think, especially with linebackers like Warner kind of ranked in the next couple of rounds, Fields is also in that category. If you want to look at wide receiver, you probably... I wouldn't take... Tutu Atwell, I think, will be a good special teamer. I don't think he's a number 1 receiver. I think he's like a Jalen Reagor. Tylan Wallace, Dwayne Eskridge, not super big on them. If you want to go with Sage Surratt, Nico Collins, or Seth Williams, I think maybe like a next 2 rounds, kind of probably around the same where you probably take Pete Warner. So I think at 85, if Sean Wade's available, you want to double up on corner, go Sean Wade there, get the bang for your buck. So you've addressed corner. I think if you really wanted, you could probably move Surtain to safety. He's got the size to do it. I think he'd be like a Pat Peterson almost. So hopefully that works out. But moving along, Nico Collins goes off the board. Chuba Hubbard's a good running back right there. I do like Chuba Hubbard. Pete Warner goes on a little early right there to the Browns. Sage Surratt also goes off the board. Right, we don't have a pick in this round. So that's something you have to think about, or we don't have an early pick in this round at least. Alright, so we have to address the offense at this point. We haven't gone offense, we've gone everything on the defense. Anthony Schwartz, I think, right here is the best speed guy in the draft. And I think he might have a little problem judging balls, but I think speed-wise, he's an outside threat. He's 6'1", 6'2" range. So he has the size that he can be dominant down the field right there. Be like a prime Deshaun Jackson, just blow past people. So I think if you want to get a burner over wide receiver, you want to address it. It's going to be Anthony Schwartz right here. Think he might be a bit of an overdraft. You might want to trade back a pick or two for him. But, just recoup some value. But I think that's definitely a good pickup right there. Where are we sitting at? We're sitting at 151. See who's still available. We have Peyton Turner, who's fallen. We have Dominic Felton, Shaka Tooney. Just take a look at the players who have fallen. Daz Newsome at wide receiver. Jamar Johnson. So it's starting to get into overdrafts and where we currently are at right now. So I don't know if this will be the round you might want to address maybe getting a running back. Chuba Hubbard's already off the board. Maybe if you want to go wait a couple rounds, you have, Roontree up here. You have Larry Roontree. You also have Puka Williams out of Kansas if you want to wait till like the 7th round, 6th, 7th round to go after a running back. Alright, wide receiver wise, who we have currently? We have Cornell Powell, Daz Newsome. Not anyone that's really jumping off the board for me right now of, yeah, this is the pick. So that's always a problem when we get to the middle rounds. I know I've addressed it before, but this is kind of where we always belly out tight ends and never my specialty. I'm always bad at evaluating tight ends, so I never really know who you want to go with. Offensive tackles, this will probably be a round you might want to go offensive lineman, take a flyer out on an offensive lineman, but don't overdraft an offensive lineman too much. Trade back a couple picks, go for an interior guy, go for a center maybe, because we have problems at guard. Unfortunately, Isaac Seumalo isn't a starting card in the NFL, and Jason Kelce is flirting with retirement every season. So I think you definitely want to find a replacement now opposed to later, but I just don't think that value is here, unfortunately, with the players still left on the board. Dean Lyman, Tardell Slayton, not a bad one right there. Mustafa Johnson out of Colorado. You already know I do like Mustafa Johnson, but I think at 151 here in round 5, adds a bit of an overdraft. Edge might be a possibility to go for right here. Peyton Turner out of Houston. You have Shaka Tooney out of Penn State. But I think... can we get a... Take a look at them real quick. Alright, that's not really what I'm looking for out of this. I also can't read cursive, so why you putting this to me in cursive, guys? I don't know. Linebackers, I really haven't addressed linebackers. You have Derek Barnes and Monty Rice out of Georgia. Do you like Monty Rice out of Georgia? I just don't think this is the right spot to draft up for Monty Rice. So I do think if you are sitting between Peyton Turner and Shaka Tooney, I do think Shaka Tooney has a higher ceiling, so maybe Shaka Tooney right there. Hopefully, the last draft, I think it was Pro Football Focus or Pro Football Network, it would give us the grade at the end of it. I haven't done a draft with this one yet. This is literally the only draft I found that had the updated Eagles at 12. Pro Football Focus or Network, whatever one I used the last time, still had the Eagles at 6. So we need to wait for them to update their draft rankings on where everyone is currently sitting. So, also, if you guys saw that, big, hey, the Eagles trade out of 6, right? I spent an hour recording both of those put together. I'm not just going to scrap an hour worth of time I spent creating content, so I was going to put them out. So you guys were going to see those regardless. If it was going to be, it just kind of made sense to put them out now opposed to, later from now. Alright, pick 190. We're in round 6. Alright, let's take a look who's available. Alright, we're at the bottom for some of these. Mustafa Johnson, ranked 227, so I think, yeah, he's probably a 7th round kind of guy. We got 190. We're in the 6th round. Chris Rumpf, not bad. Linebacker, Patty Fisher. Maybe a bit of an overdraft on Patty Fisher. Corner, we've already addressed corner. Safety could be a bet right here. I know we did bring in Anthony Harris. Brady Breezy is always an option for something like this. I know we... Take a look at my selections are. Who we've taken? We've taken one corner, a D lineman, a linebacker, 2 corners, 1 receiver, and an edge rusher. So I think if we're only seeing out 1 wide receiver, I think we're kind of forced to go wide receiver. Unfortunately, though, all the receivers I liked went before they were supposed to go, and I'm just not seeing anyone currently I like. I mean, if you want to draft to position, Trayvon Grimes could be it right here. I mean, sure, he's a he's a Kyle Trask guy. I mean, cool. I mean, I don't like this one right here because when you click on it, it's like, hey, you want more? You want pros cons of them, but you don't. This is just like. This is like an excerpt from an article. Like you read a comic book and it's like those little square boxes that tell you what's happening or how we got here because it's cutting at the beginning of the comic book. That's what this is right here. It's like an under picture header, kind of explains things. One of the many weapons of Florida Gators boast in their historic passing attack. Wide receiver Trayvon Grimes has provided tremendous size profile for the team as he trots out a ton of speed on the perimeter. So I mean. There you go. You could have just said, height 6 whatever, speed time pro day, unofficial this time. You could have just done that. You had to maybe read cursive. But I think since you only got 1 receiver, I think Trayvon Grimes, kind of hand tied right there, take a wide receiver. So there you go. Trayvon Grimes at pick 190. It's where it's projected to go to. It's not a bad pick, I guess, for value wise, probably, but. Take a look at who's going so far. I mean, we didn't take offensive line. I don't believe we took an offensive lineman. No, we didn't take an offensive lineman, which is always something that you kind of worried about. Problem with the Eagles drafting offensive linemen. Eagles are awful at drafting offensive linemen, unfortunately. Mustafa Johnson goes, which kind of hurts. You have Lorenzo Neal's kid right here at 276. He might be a UDFA though. You might want to call in if you want to bring him in. I think you can probably hold out on drafting someone like him. Drafting maybe someone in the 7th, 6th round for offensive linemen, linebackers, corners. Bryce Thompson maybe. Safety could always be a thing. I think Brady Breezy. I think he's worth the overdraft here at 225. So I think go Brady Breezy there. And then we're back up again. Who's still available? We have Roontree. We have Malcolm. Brennan Eagles. Get Eagles on the Eagles. That's always a fun run right there. Match the name to the player. Yeah, you've already addressed some of positions in need. I think offensive lineman would probably be the only real position. You take a look at Brennan Eagles. Take a look at him. Eagles looks to be part of a dominant jump ball receiver, and in many cases, he backs it up. Brings excellent catch radius, so he's got good hands. So I think if you want to go receiver with hands, like I said, I personally have watched many Brennan Eagles highlights or film on him, but I think basing off of hands alone, you might want to go Brennan Eagles. Even if he's not the fastest kind of guy, as long as you get someone that can catch at that point, just go with a wide receiver. I know it kind of makes it sound like I'm just drafting willy-nilly right here. He goes, oh, receiver? Sure, he's a receiver. Take him here. That's how that works. That's how you like it. Alright, and 7th round, I believe this is our last pick right here. Safety. D lineman maybe again. No one up top. Probably scroll up. Traycon Graham, Naquan Jones, no. Offensive lineman, Manette, no. Larry Borum, Tommy Doyle, Landon Young. No, probably no one there at offensive tackle, unfortunately. Isaiah McDuffie wouldn't be the worst. But if you want to go value-wise, I think Puka Williams Jr. in the 7th round, you can't go wrong with that draft pick. You know, it helps out the running back room. I mean, I think the running back room is currently just Sanders and Boston Scott. And whoever the, Elijah Holyfields are of the draft, or whoever the Eagles want to bring in those players, I think, I mean, I'm not going to really count Elijah Holyfield, the Josh Adams, like those kind of guys. So I think probably definitely getting Puka Williams right there is a very good get for the Eagles. Helps balance out their room just a little better. I think if you want to maybe go with the offensive lineman, I think Tommy Doyle out of Florida. If you want to draft someone in the 7th round, I think Tommy Doyle might be the guy to go with right here. You got to think tackle's a problem. If you want to trade Dillard, you can trade Dillard. It's probably the best option right there to go with a Andre Dillard trade because you don't really know what you have in Andre Dillard. He's been hurt the past couple of seasons. My draft is complete, which I had to restart the draft, so it doesn't even tell me my grade, which is unfortunate. But NFL Mock Draft Database, that's the website we use, guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of this. You think we did a good job? You think the Eagles fans will be proud of this draft? So comment down below. Let me know what you think. And until next time, YouTube, though, peace out, rock on, super class, and have a great day. I guess I don't know.